Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for an unparalleled exploration of the human experience within the enigmatic world of Torchwood. In this review, we delve deep into the captivating episode titled Random Shoes, which takes an unconventional approach and delving into the life of a side character. Brace yourself for an emotional odyssey as we navigate the intricate layers of this thought-provoking and soul-stirring installment.
Don't worry, that's not the actual introduction. I'm working on a Doctor Who video using ChatGPT, and I thought I'd test it, and yeah, that's the intro that it came up with for this episode. Bit weird. Anyway, let's get to it. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin, I am a geek, you are watching Kevin the Geek, and yeah, as I kind of did with the cold open, we are doing the review of the 9th episode of the first season of Torchwood, Random Shoes. Just a quick little reminder before I get into the review itself, coming up this coming Saturday there will be a new Doctor Who ranking, which is the community choice video, which has been chosen by all of you wonderful people, and that is of course to discuss the best Doctor Who speech. And I may be turning that into a 2-part video. I'm still working on it, so stay tuned for this Saturday for that video. So, my first thought when I was thinking back on this episode before rewatching it was I felt that it was like Love and Monsters, in that it was an episode which was a sort of Doctor Light, or in this case Torchwood Light episode, and it focused on a side character who's doing a lot of narration over the top of it, and on one hand I do think I still agree that there are a lot of similarities between the two, and again, I always think back of this episode as one that I skip upon rewatching the series in general. And like I felt with a number of Doctor Who and Torchwood videos so far, upon rewatching them and trying to analyse them a little bit more, I do feel I've done it a real injustice once more. And again, maybe that's just a case of me evolving and developing and seeing things through a different lens as I've gotten older. But yeah, I kind of liked it in this one. And I think the biggest thing is because I quite like sort of darker and more serious toned things compared to being a little bit lighter and fluffier, which is what I think Love and Monsters kind of tried to tap into. It dealt with a lot of similar things like love and friendship and relationship dynamics and things like that, but they did it really with a sense of, well, they tried to go down the humour route, which I don't think it always quite landed that well in Love and Monsters. Here, it's a very much a deeper and darker tone. And I suppose in a way, probably the best comparison I could really give would be if you compared some of the James Bond movies, specifically the era of Roger Moore compared to Timothy Dalton. Now, granted, I've not watched a lot of pre-Timothy Dalton James Bonds. I've not watched any Sean Connerys. I've watched everything from Timothy Dalton onwards, and I've always said, and I feel like I'm probably one of the minorities here, but my favourite James Bond is the Timothy Dalton version, because it's quite deep, closer to the source material, the way that Ian Fleming originally wrote him. And my favourite of all of the James Bond movies, at least the ones I've seen, is License to Kill, because that goes really dark and really deep. And I'm not saying that Random Shoes is going quite that level. We will get to episodes like that, don't you worry. but it really tries to tell a thought-provoking story. It tries to lean into a tone in which I don't quite know. It's a hard one because I know what it's trying to do, but I can't quite put the right words to it. And apologies if I am a bit more rambling with this one. Right, no, I've worked out what it is. It's a sense of loneliness and melancholy, I think, because Eugene's got a pretty crappy life. It's kind of got to be said. He's filled with a lot of self doubt um, and he kind of needs that reassurance, I think, and almost validation from other people to say, you are a good person, you are, worthwhile, and this kind of stuff. And he's constantly trying to, impose himself on other people with really good intentions. And his family life and family dynamic is a tough one to see as well, because you have the whole thing with his mum and his dad splitting up, which is, I mean, it happens to many people, you know. He's got a really young brother, and that's a difficult dynamic to watch, because you can see that there is love there, love between the whole family, yet there is something, kind of a separation, I think, between the family as well. And Eugene is just constantly trying to find, I don't know, maybe meaning in life, and he's trying to find a purpose in life. I do feel his friends were absolute dicks. Um, to be in a situation where, again, I think initially they did it for, the right reasons. They wanted to kind of cheer him up a little bit, by doing this bidding on his alien eye thing. But going down the route then of, once they know what it's worth, it's clear that they're not his friends, and they're literally going to stab him in the back, and unfortunately it led to Eugene's unfortunate demise. Now, for the Torchwood team as a whole, it is a Torchwood light episode, but at the same time, it's not. Other than Gwen, the rest of the team were pretty much in the episode the same amount of time, compared to any of the, like for example, Greek's Bearing Gift, which focused on Tosh. All of the rest of them were just sort of more background fodder, whereas Tosh got the main focus. And I think it was kind of the case here that Eugene was front and foremost the focus of the episode, and Gwen was effectively the companion to the Doctor for this episode. She got a good amount of time and stuff to do, but didn't necessarily go the whole hog. And then finally, the Torchwood team, like I said, they were just kind of more background and filler and things like that. But yeah, it's a very thought-provoking episode, and I think they deserve credit for trying something a little bit different. I think it's one I'm going to contemplate revisiting more in the future when I do reviews, and not reviews, but rewatches for Torchwood. Because I think he is a little bit harshly judged. I think this one, it's a very forgettable one, but for the wrong reasons. I think it should be remembered better than it realistically is. But what are your thoughts? These are just my thoughts. Please do drop your comments for Random Shoes down below. Remember, we've got Doctor Who Wednesday coming up. Tomorrow is the episode and review of 42. And then this Saturday, we of course have got that community choice video focusing on some of Doctor Who's best speeches. Until then, my name's Kevin. I am a geek, and you have been watching Kevin the Geek.